the younger generation is tired of liberalism.
There's too much freedom nowadays.
That is why Trump won in America. He's a reaction to what is happening.
Also why AndrewTate is so popular nowadays.
He's appealing to the younger men.
There is a shift with the younger generations moving towards more traditional values nowadays, and this comes from them being tired of too much freedom and progressive ideas pushed down their throats, you know? Like they are tired of seeing all of these social activism, feminism, LGBTQ plus. That is hard for me to say, but their rights, like they're being portrayed in places that there's no need for them to see that. And now the younger generations, they are shifting towards more stability, and they want tradition back.
Trad wives, TikTokers saying I'm gonna wait until marriage.
Yes.
Women moving away from feminism. People being anti-progressive. These things are all pointing to the fact that young people are going back to conservative values.
Yes. And it was coming long ago. Like we could see it even like in fashion or inside interior design. In fashion, with all these trends of old money aesthetic, moving away from colors and individualist, like showing individualism through fashion, or inside the houses with more beige, white, and black interior design trends. And that is not something new. This pendulum in the societal changes comes from far back. We also saw it in the 60s when the civil rights were pushed, as well as feminism and freedom, or like sexuality freedom, were all accepted. And after all of these, people and figures like Ronald Reagan gained popularity because he brought back family values and traditional gender roles. And that's what's happening nowadays.
Because they have pushed us so much with progressive woke ideas. We are now reacting to that. Now we see people, young women who were saying, I want to be the girl boss. I want to work. I want to be in the 9 to 5. I want to climb the corporate ladder. They're now saying, hey, forget that. I want to be married and have kids. That's why Ballerina Farm is so popular in America, because she is speaking to a lot of women. Like a lot of women, they are now desiring to be homemakers and raise their families, and they're wondering, why did I sign up for this?
Yes.
Why did I sign up for this? And they're realizing that they're getting the not so good end of the stick in this fight, and so people are returning to that. And also I feel like the George Floyd thing that happened in America, BLM, the Me Too movement was like the climax of this. And also now what is happening with trans rights. For example, they're pushing this on children. They're now asking for children to be able to make decisions on their own, to take away the rights of the parents. And this is very progressive.
Too liberal.
Too far left. And people are reacting to that. They're saying,
this doesn't reflect what I am thinking right now.
Yeah, I think people were okay when
things were in the middle.
Yeah, when it was a little bit more moderate, but now it has become so far left, so woke, that people are reacting to that.
And you know what happens when someone speaks up against it? They get canceled. And now the left, like at the beginning, they started fighting for the rights of those oppressed. But now if you talk against them, you are the one being oppressed.
They have no tolerance.
And a lot of people are just choosing to not speak up. Like if you're gonna speak up about something, make sure that you're speaking about women's rights, children's rights, transgenders, and everything. And if you miss one, you're not accepted. Like oh my God, you're not supporting the collectivism of us or of everyone's right. But
you're not woken up.
You're
canceled.
And people, the younger generations are tired of that. Like I see a lot of younger people now,
Gen Zs right now,
and now we have to, like, Gen Z is very black and white. You are very, like, they are moving towards more conservative, like very conservative, or the things
Very woke.
about very woke, like
Yeah.
I am a cat, I am a rock, I present myself
and
as
everything is racism,
a tree,
and everything is cultural appropriation.
and you can't talk about
yeah,
anything.
I am so annoyed at that. Like everything, and you know what is happening? Even the black community. Oh, we are oppressed. Oh, everything is racism. But they will never talk about how much a black person is racist towards white
Other
people.
people?
Yeah, black people are also racist, and they don't talk about that. And you can't say that because you're canceled for that. And
you know, like Candace Owens is a
Yeah.
good representation,
Yeah.
but why is she so popular? Because she's not afraid to speak up
Yeah.
about these situations, even though like she's showing the traditional values, and people, she has haters like
A lot.
you're a black person, and why aren't you supporting
BLM.
BLM?
Yeah.
She's getting death threats and all of these situations because she doesn't represent what the public or society expects of her.
But now it is changing because
represent.
I follow her. Now it's changing to people are realizing what is happening, that oh my gosh, I was told a lie. The
Yes.
media glorified all these woke things, and I now realizing that this is not serving me. Women, trans people, trans men in women's sport, that is not serving women. So the woman liberation that you sought, women are now being oppressed because you
Yes.
wanted equal opportunities for women, but now you're putting men, biological men, in women's sport. You're
Because-
taking away that from women. So it's like this disillusionment of this progressive era, this progressive movement, is actually not serving us the way we thought it would. And so a lot of people are now like, oh, this is a lie.
Yeah.
That's why black men, so many black men, which was a significant change in voting patterns in America, voted for Trump because they're tired of being told I am a racist because I don't accept certain things. They're tired of being told that they're toxic men because women they tend to bash men, toxic masculinity, and then they call men toxic, and then they wonder, why am I not finding masculine men to date? Why am I not finding men who are opening doors for me, buying me flowers, planning date, doing all these things? Because you spent a whole era
pushing them down.
Yes.
Yeah, saying that they were toxic, and in response of all of these, now that's why figures like Jordan Peterson, AndrewTate, and Ben Shapiro, when they speak up about the traditional male roles and being a masculine man and hustle culture and
because
political,
you're speaking to the man.
Yeah. That's why they are so popular, because they are giving answers that people in the past generation weren't giving to the younger generation. And they are looking for a role model to follow, and some of them might not be the best, but they answer to some of the questions that they have. That's why they are so popular. That's why they have so much following. And that's why also Trump became so popular, because he was portraying these values of traditional gender roles.
We're going to go back to religion
and about like stop this nonsense about talking to kids at school about gender, and you can be
Gender
a
affirming care.
transgender, and taking out people like males out of transgender male,
out of female bathroom.
How would you call that? Transgender woman out of the sports and out of military. You know what, in this research I was doing something that made me upset. Teachers being fired from their role because they didn't want to affirm kids, like, oh, you didn't call they a kid, and because these teachers were like, hey, that doesn't represent my beliefs in religion, or I don't adhere to this ideology, and they were being fired. And you know what, like, they sued the school, and some of them won because, like, what is this? Like, now it became a little bit of a clownish situation.
You know, that is why I never understand these progressive people, because they ask for tolerance, but they cannot accept another person's belief. If I say I am a Christian and sorry, I don't subscribe to your version of reality, I am considered a hater. I am considered not a
You're
good person,
disrespecting
right?
them.
But what about respect for my beliefs?
Yeah.
You want me to respect your beliefs? How about you respect mine as well? Like, I don't need to affirm your belief because it doesn't align with mine, but there is no tolerance from these progressive people. And so a lot of people are now waking up to the fact that they were all told lies.
You know what? With the pandemic, a lot of young people realized that the mainstream media weren't telling or covering the whole truth, and they search for new channels or new
Independent
voices to get information, and they are like, hey, the media was controlling the ideologies and pushing even the entertainment, like through music, through movies. Doing the research, I realized that a lot of young people are like, hey, we don't need that much sex scenes in movies. I don't want to see
Nudity.
I don't want to see that much nudity in. There is no need. And you like Euphoria. I don't know if you know about that series.
I didn't watch it. I couldn't watch it.
They were pushing a lot of these progressive ideologies, and I don't know if they're gonna make a third or I don't know, like the next season. I'm not sure where that is, but now younger generations are moving to K-dramas where they don't hold hands until the episode number 20, where they just give a little kiss, and a lot of people are like, oh my god, they did so much. Where in America or like Western media, the first episode you see things that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, you know which which live action movie flopped from Disney? Snow White. Like these stupid progressive ideas that they're pushing on people that makes no sense, and people are rejecting that.
I am Colombian. The Snow White is Colombian, and I feel a little bit embarrassed, to be honest. Like, she doesn't represent me.
It's embarrassing. What is wrong? That's also the thing. Like, I forget being rescued by a man. Forget a man taking care of me. I am a woman. I can do it all.
On my own.
Whatever. Stupid values. Stupidity.
And they rejected the whole tradition.
It's been rejected by society, and I'm so happy to see that people are rejecting these really
progressive ideas. If you're going to make a remake or a live action of a story that already exists, then respect it. Why do you have to change?
And it was already successful. There's a reason why it was successessful.
Do you even know, like, they weren't going to put how do you call this short
real dwarf?
Yeah, because that was like an insult to dwarves. Ridiculous. And then the dwarves were like, hey, like the actors were they were
we're
saying,
losing
like, hey,
money.
We're losing our jobs.
So these progressive so literally, like, you're putting all these progressive ideas, but people are realizing that they're not winning from this because, for example, like, as a black person, they talk about affirmative action, but then you put black people or people in places and spaces that they shouldn't be, and then things don't work, plane crash, things happen, and then you wonder what happened. Hey, because people should be qualified for the job. Based on merits, based on qualifications, based on
race.
Training, not the color of their skin, you know. And so then when you put people in jobs and they aren't able to fill their roles properly, and you suffer because of that, you wonder, like, what? Because these progressive things, they don't work. You know?
Now that's why the younger generation, they are looking for stability. They are looking for
truth,
tradition, and they are pushing, and it shows across different aspects of life.
All aspects of life right now.
Now they are going back to religion. The younger generations are going back to.
There's a whole trend on TikTok of Gen Zers choosing family and children and waiting until marriage to engage in stuff. Going back to Christianity, I saw a report the other day that America is seeing the most increase in Bible sales in years. Between last year, so people are going back to religion, and God is the truth, and people are choosing that. So people are rejecting this progressive era, this progressive move right now, and I love to see that.
It hasn't been working for the younger generation because we are the poorest generation compared to our parents. We can't afford
We're
housing.
also dumber.
We can't afford housing. We can't pay our student loans. Jobs are being messed up with AI. We're losing jobs. People having to work 3 different jobs to survive, to go through the month. So it's not working,
and we're losing our families.
All this progressiveness is not working for the younger generations, and we are comparing like, hey, wait a minute, my parents or the generation previous that, they had it better, so let's search some stability on what they were doing. And in moments of not knowing what is going to happen, you go back to the things that you know. You go back to the things that offer some stability, some comfort, and that is going back to traditional values, because nowadays there is too much uncertainty. We don't know. It is scary.
And I think especially religion right now, I love seeing that as a Christian, people are going back to church, and because that offers so much stability and peace, and people are seeing that. And Christ, God, he offers the family, he the family values, the family life, it's from the church, it's from God, and people are seeing that. And so I am so happy to see young people choosing family, choosing God, choosing sensibility, and moving away and rejecting these progressive ideas. And I'm not here for it. I do not want to raise my kids in this era, and that is why politics in dating is becoming so serious, because imagine now dating someone and someone like me, with more conservative principles, dating someone that is so far left, and it just wouldn't work. That's why dating in politics is becoming so important, and people maybe not becoming far right or very conservatives, but they're becoming more moderate.
Definitely. I just hope to, in the future, if things go conservative, that they don't go to the extreme, and we can find finally a nice middle point. Like,
we ruin everything all the time. We won't.